Hello everyone and welcome to our room watchers briefing for the PRC licensure examination. Please be reminded that the PRC examination is way different from other agencies conducting government examinations like the Supreme Court, National Police Commission and the Civil Service Commission. Minimum health protocols. This is how to wear a face mask properly or correctly. Always cover the nose and the mouth with a face mask. Maintain social distancing of 2 meters. Have your temperature checked upon arrival at the testing area. Do frequent hand sanitization. Follow regular disinfection of equipment. If the rooms have available sinks, then observe frequent hand washing. Also monitor your health condition. There is an available nurse on standby, who also regularly checks the temperature of the watchers and the examinees.
In the event that you cannot attend the day of the examination, please do not send any substitute. Inform us 3 days before the examination day. We cannot admit another person on your behalf without prior notice.
Once you are already in the examination room or area, you can no longer get out of the room unless you have concerns, which can be resolved by the floor supervisor. So please bring your ordinary black ball pen, snacks, lunch, and bottled drinking water with no label. Also, please bring your own alcohol or hand sanitizer and extra face mask, QR code and vaccine card. Food delivery is not allowed, that is why you have to bring your own snacks, lunch, and bottled drinking water that would last for the entire examination day. Men must be in their business or smart casual attire. Polo shirt with collar, short or long sleeves. The color of the upper garment must not be white so as not to be mistaken for an examinee. For the lower garment, wear slacks or business pants as shown in this slide. Jeans are not allowed. For the footwear, you may use close formal black shoes or topsider just like the one on your screen. Please bring your own simple wristwatch to monitor the time. For female room watchers, please be in your business or smart casual wear like the ones shown on the screen. Your blouse or collared polo shirt must not be revealing that would attract the attention of the examinees. You may wear slacks or A-line skirt, which must be below your knee line. Do not wear white polo shirt so as not to be mistaken as an examinee. For the footwear, it must be closed shoes with at least 2 inches high heels.
Upon arriving, look for the attendance supervisor. Present your valid ID and 2 photocopies of your vaccination card with booster shot to the attendance supervisor. The attendance supervisor will assign you your room assignment and requires you to fill out the record of attendance. Proceed to the supply officer and surrender your mobile phones, smartwatch and all communication and potential image capturing devices. Fill up the log sheet form for deposit and claiming of cell phones. Obtain also from the supply officer the badge and brown envelope that contains examination materials. Double check the room assignment with the room printed in brown envelope. It must go inside with the room assignment given to you by the attendance supervisor. Proceed immediately to your room assignment. The examination materials contain the following: ID/S sheets, PRC, master list, seat plan, examination record of attendance or ERA, room watchers report, report on violation by examinees against rules and regulations, list of allowed calculator. Prior to the start of exam, turn on the lights and arrange the chairs inside the room. See to it that the number of chairs corresponds to the number of examinees in the list. Give the seat plan guide and number the chairs from 1 up to last number following the seat plan guide. Arrange the chairs according to the seat plan guide. Facing the chairs/examinees, seat number 1 will always start at your left side. Then start writing numbers. Write on the chalkboard the schedule/program of examination, name, grid and other data needed to be filled out on the examinee's identification/answer sheets. Get the master list and seat plan inside your brown envelope. Note, only examinees in the list must be admitted to the examination room. Room Watcher 1 will instruct the examinees to get their notice of admission slip, NOA, and 1 photocopy of their complete vaccination card or negative RT-PCR test result or 14 days quarantine certificate. Check the identity of the examinee by matching picture on the notice of admission with the actual physical image. Features. Return the NOA to the examinee.
If there are Muslim female examinees wearing hijab, only female room watcher is allowed to check them. The female room watcher will guide her to a room wherein she can check privately the face of the examinee against the picture of her NOA. In the event that all the room watchers are male, a female floor supervisor may check them.
Before allowing the examinees to get inside the room, please check the following. The following items are not allowed inside the room: cell phone and smartwatch, review materials, deadly weapons, guns and knife, cigarettes and lighter, bags, earphones. Only the following items are allowed inside the room: brown envelope, plastic transparent envelope, pencil number 2, black ball pen, allowed calculator under Memorandum Circular number 2009-21, S.2009, Notice of Admission, NOA, Annexes A and B, 1 photocopy of complete vaccination card. Food, snacks and drinks without label must be placed in a transparent cellophane or bag. Room Watcher 2 will direct the examinee to their assigned seat. If the examinee's number in the master list is number 2, that means he or she will sit on chair number 2.
If all the examinees are already seating inside the room, recheck whether the examinees are properly seated according to their assigned seat number by doing the roll call. Instruct the examinees to raise their hand if their name is called. Get the master list and start calling their names. While you are reading the names in the master list, the examinees will raise their hand individually, which enable you to check if the seat plan guide and seating arrangement was followed.
This is an example of a one-set ID and answer sheet for licensure examination for professional teachers secondary level. It has 4 pages. The first page is the ID sheet, and the succeeding 3 pages is the answer sheets. 1, 2, 3. In the ID sheet is where the examinee will fill up his name and application number. As you can see, there are boxes here for last name, first name and middle name. Here is the box for application number. The examinee will fill up also the back page of the ID sheet. In the answer sheet, the examinee will not write his name anymore. What the examinee must write is the title of the subject. Shade his answers here in the letter choices box and shade the test question set box to indicate the test questions assigned to him. This 4 sheets has a serial number. The ID sheet has the same serial number with the answer sheets.
Room Watcher 1 will instruct examinees to get their brown envelopes and do the following: print their names on the upper left corner, and room and seat number on the upper right corner using black ball pen. Room Watcher 2 will count and check the number of examinees' ID/answer sheet sets allocated to the room. Jot down the first serial number of the first set and the last serial number of the last set of the ID/ as in the Room Watcher's report form. Distribute ID/answer sheet sets individually to the examinees. Follow the seat plan pattern in distributing the ID sheets and instruct them to check serial numbers and the number of pages of the set. All examinees must have the same number of pages of ID/answer sheet set. If there is late or absent examinee, do not put ID/answer sheet on his/her armchair and continuously distribute it to the next examinee. If the late examinee will arrive, the ID/answer sheet set bearing the last serial number will be given to him/her. Require the examinees to insert their own brown envelope in between their ID to avoid impression on the next page. Instruct examinees to fill out ID sheets. Note, all shading must be pencil and all writing must be ball pen.
This is how examinees should fill out the ID sheets. Black ordinary ball pen will be used for writing and pencil for shading. Now, let us start with this area. Notice that there are 8 boxes here. On the first 2 boxes, write the last 2 digits of the current year. The remaining 6 boxes are allotted for the application number found in the examinee's notice of admission. In filling out the name, start with the surname. Remind the examinee not to skip any of the required boxes. If the examinee has 2 or more names and/or has name extensions like junior, just leave 1 box between each name. Continue writing at the back portion of the ID sheet. We will do the shading after we are all done with the accomplishing this area. Examinees should write the title of the board examination, date of examination, school graduated from or complete name of school not abbreviated, location of the school, write only the city where the school is located, date of graduation, review center attended if applicable. Again, this must be spelled out, not abbreviated. Location of the review center, city only, date of birth, sex, type of examination. Now this area here is to be accomplished only by repeaters. If first taker, leave this blank. Also, remind the examinees to write the complete month name on the dates to avoid confusion. For their permanent mailing address, remind them to write their complete residential address and not their email address. They should also affix their signature over their printed name. On this area is the attestation of non-disclosure declaration. Instruct the examinees to write using their usual handwriting, copying all the paragraphs in the space provided below. Before they start writing, notice the blank portion here. This is where they should write the name of the board. After copying all of these, the examinees have to affix their signature and write the date when they signed the same document. Once the examinee is done writing, he or she can proceed to the front page to do the shading using pencil.
While the examinees are filling out the ID sheets, Room Watcher 1 will pass around the seat plan and instruct them to accomplish the form. Go around and check if proper shading is observed by each examinee. Meanwhile, the Room Watcher 2 will check the calculators if non-programmable and are included in the list of allowed non-programmable calculators under Memorandum Circular Number 2009-21, S.2009. After filling out the ID sheets, Room Watcher 1 will instruct the examinees not to detach the answer sheets right away and put inside their brown envelope. Wait for instructions when to detach. At least 15 minutes before the arrival of test booklets, instruct examinees to go to the restrooms to attend to their personal needs. When the examinee is back in the room, Room Watcher 2 will courteously request the examinee to pull out their pockets and tuck in their shirts and remove their shoes to check if there are cell phones or caudigos hidden inside. When all the examinees are back in their assigned seat, Room Watcher 1 will demonstrate how to detach the answer sheet. Look for the perforated lines and remind the examinees to detach the answer sheet at the bottom page of their ID or answer sheets sets. Fill out the data on the detached answer sheet. Write the title of the subject. Room Watcher 2 will go around and check if answer sheets were properly detached and filled out. Remind examinees to always place the detached answer sheets on the top of their armchairs and not on vacant chair or under the chair. Room Watcher 2 will instruct the examinees to place the remaining sheets inside their brown envelopes. Room Watcher 2 will collect the brown envelopes of the examinees, according to the seating arrangement of the examinee, and place it on the Room Watcher's table.
Note: going to the restroom while the examination is on progress is not allowed. Examinees may be allowed to go to the restroom during break time, provided that they shall write their name in the provided log sheet. Log sheet for examinees who went to comfort rooms. On receipt of the test question sets, Room Watcher 1 will get the test questions accountability report form on top of the bundle. Carefully count the number of test questions received. Accomplish the test questions accountability report form, Part 2 Number 1. It must be the same as indicated in the test questions accountability report form. Note: announce the time started and time to finish the examination. Remind the examinees that they can use the test questions as their scratch papers/computations sheets, but they must not detach any page. Room Watcher 1 and 2 will distribute the test questions alternately, Set A and Set B, to the examinees. Room Watcher 1 will distribute the Set A test questions to add numbers, example 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. Room Watcher 2 will distribute the Set B test questions to even numbers, example 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. Always start giving Set A test questions to seat number 1 examinee, followed by Set B test questions to seat number 2, and so on. Note: if there is an absent examinee, put his or her allocated test questions temporarily in her or his assigned chair or seat, then proceed to the distribution. Note: Room Watcher 1 will instruct the examinees to count the number of pages of test questions and check for misprints or missing pages. If there are reported misprints or missing pages, the examinees must report immediately to the Room Watcher. Room Watcher 1 will instruct examinees to write their seat number on test questions and shade their answer sheets, set box A or B according to the test questions set they received. Room Watcher 2 will go around and check if the shaded set box on the answer sheet is the same with the set printed on test questions. Retrieve the test questions of the absent examinee, then submit it together with the excess ID or answer sheets set to the floor supervisor immediately. While the examinees are answering the first subject, Room Watcher 1 will fill out the test questions accountability report form Part 2 Number 2, 3, 4, and Part 3. Number of test question sets received must be equal to the no of test question sets allotted. Extra or excess test question sets returned refers to the number of absent examinees. Additional test question sets requested refers to the number of added to the list examinees, if any, added to the list. Total number of test question sets distributed is equals to the number of examinees who actually took the exam. Total number of test question sets distributed in Part 2 must be the same with the number of used test question sets in Part 3 of this report. Room Watcher 1 will fill out the examinee's record of attendance, ERA, legibly. The Room Watcher must be the one to write the names of the examinees based in the master list. The examinees will be the one to write and fill up this part of the forms at the end of every subject. The examinee's record of attendance, ERA, the seat plan and master list must be stapled together. Room Watcher 2 will check the identity of the examinee by comparing picture on the PRC individually and affix signature of the left corner of the PRC. If an examinee is absent, print absent of the left corner and affix the signature. Room Watcher 1 will check the ID sheet of the examinee if properly accomplished.
The Room Watcher 2 will accomplish the Room Watcher's report form. Total sets distributed is equal to the number of present examinees. Extra sets distributed is equal to the number of absent examinees. Per list refers to the number of examinees in the master list. Added to the list refers to the number of examinees not listed in the master list but are added to the list on the actual day of the exam. Complete refers to the number of examinees who took the exam of all the subjects. Abandon refers to the number of examinees who took the first subject but did not continue taking the succeeding subjects. Write the name of the absent examinee here, while the name of the examinee who abandoned the exam will be written here as well as their seat and room number. Dangling error is an incident wherein the room watcher accidentally interchanges the ID or answer sheets of the examinees. Cheating and unusual incidents will be reported on this part of the form. Don't forget to affix your signature over printed name and contact number. If an examinee is caught cheating, the room watcher will accomplish the report on violation by examinees against rules and regulations during the examination. Write here the title of the subject wherein the examinee was caught. Write the name, school, room and seat number of the erring examinee. Select here what type of cheating was done by the examinee. For example, the examinee was caught using cell phone inside the testing room. This act of cheating falls on number 4. The columns beside it is where to write the time and subject the examinee was caught, as well as the action taken by the room watcher on the incident. Affix your signature over printed name. Don't forget to let the building supervisor, floor supervisor and PNP security officer affix their signature on the report form. If an examinee is caught cheating by using cell phone inside the testing room, the room watcher will do the following. Confiscate the cell phone and wrap it with a paper tape. Write the name, school, room and seat number of the examinee on the paper tape and require the examinee and floor supervisor to affix their signature. Inform the floor supervisor and PNP security officer about the incident. During confiscation, photographs should be taken by the PNP officer with the examinee, room watcher, building and floor supervisors present. Take photographs also of confiscated material, front and back. Allow the examinee to finish answering the subject wherein he was caught but he cannot take the succeeding subjects. When the examinee is done answering, require him to write an explanation letter. The room watcher should make an incident report. Make sure to indicate the complete name of examinee, school, room number, seat number and his complete mailing address. Accomplish the report on violation by examinees against rules and regulations on the administration of examination.
Note, if there is questionable test item raised by the examinees, do not make any interpretation or assumptions, instead refer the problem to your floor supervisor. Do not distract the examinees. Position yourself at separate places, RW1 and RW2, in the room to check movements of the examinees. Note, room watchers shall remind the examinees the remaining time. Room Watcher 1 will receive the answer sheet, AS, and test question, TQ. The Room Watcher will count the number of pages in TQ, comparing to the test question accountability form. Room Watcher 1 will receive the answer sheet submitted by the examinee and let him or her sign the examinee record of attendance, ERA. Indicating the time of submission, set of the test question answered and number of pages. Room Watcher 1 will sign the Notice of Admission, NOA, and return it to the examinee after signing. Note, advise the examinee to return to their assigned seat. After all the examinees have submitted, Room Watcher 1 will counter-check if the answer sheet received is complete. The Room Watcher 2 will check if the test questions received is complete. Make sure that it must be tally with the number of examinees who took the exam. Note, all set A's must be on top, followed by all set B's. Room Watcher 1 will place the answer sheet to the brown envelope provided by the floor supervisor. Room Watcher 1 and Room Watcher 2 will affix their signature and overprinted name on the envelope. Room Watcher 2 will place the test question accountability form on top of the test questions and wrap it with a rubber band. Room Watcher 1 will submit the first subject answer sheet and test question to the floor supervisor. The floor supervisor will account it and if cleared the room watcher will return immediately to the assigned room. Note, repeat the same procedure to the remaining subjects. During break time, room watchers and examinees are allowed to eat their lunch or snacks in their designated rooms and assigned chairs. Examinees may be allowed to go to the restroom during break time, provided that they shall write their name in the provided log sheet. Room Watcher 2 will collect from the examinees the accomplished forms and requirements of Annex A, Annex B, RT-PCR test, 14-day quarantine and vaccination card. Room Watcher 1 will check the annexes if properly accomplished and sign the last page of Annex B. On the last subject of the last day of examination, the supply aide will provide 2 brown envelopes. One for answer sheets and one for ID sheets. When all examinees are answering the last subject, Room Watcher 1 will detach the remaining ID sheets and check if ID sheet were properly accomplished or filled out and put it inside the brown envelope for ID sheets. Room Watcher 1 and Room Watcher 2 will affix their signature and overprinted name on the said brown envelope. Room Watcher 2 will count, tally, and bundle the PRC with cover form.
Room Watcher 2 will submit to the floor supervisor the brown envelope containing the ID sheets, PRC, Room Watcher's reports and other reports, except the test questions accountability form, ERA, seat plan and master list. The floor supervisor will count the ID sheets, and if complete, advise the room watcher to return to their assigned room.
After all the examinees have submitted, Room Watcher 1 will counter-check if the answer sheet received is complete. The Room Watcher 2 will check if the test questions received is complete. Make sure that it must be tally with the number of examinees. Watcher 1 will place the answer sheet to the brown envelope provided by the floor supervisor. Room Watcher 1 and Room Watcher 2 will affix their signature and overprinted name on the envelope. Room Watcher 2 will place the test question accountability form on top of the test questions and wrap it with a rubber band.
Room Watcher 1 and 2 will submit the complete test questionnaires and answer sheets of the last subject. Submit also the ERA, seat plan and master list. The 3 reports must be stapled together. The floor supervisor will count and check the completeness of the submitted documents. If found in order and complete, the floor supervisor will allow the room watchers to claim their cell phones from the supply officer.